On number 2, we're finding a missing side. Our directions tell us to round to the nearest tenth. Remember, that's 1 decimal place. So don't forget what we're rounding to. In the drawing, we're given one side, we're given 2 angles, so it'd be really easy to find this third angle. Since 60 and 90 give me 150, I know that has to be a 30-degree angle. But we're not asked to find an angle, we're asked to find this side. So we can't use Pythagorean theorem since we don't know 2 sides, we only know 1 side. So this is another trig problem. So we've got to decide which trig ratio we're going to use. So remember, we know SO, CA, TOA to help us realize which trig function to use. You always look from an acute angle's perspective. The acute angle that we're given here is the 60-degree angle. This is a right angle. Acute angles are less than 90 degrees. So we have to look from the perspective of one of these angles right here. So from the 60-degree angle's perspective, the side that I know is the side that's marked 8, which is the opposite side to the angle I'm given. The side that I want to know, this X right here, is the side that is adjacent to my acute angle. I do not know, nor do I want to know, the hypotenuse. So the hypotenuse in this problem is not involved at all, which tells me I'm not going to use sine or cosine because they both use the hypotenuse. I'm using the tangent trig function for this problem. So you always write the trig function of the acute angle, and our acute angle is 60 degrees, is equal to the ratio of the sides. My ratio is going to be opposite over adjacent. So I'm going to put 8 over x, opposite adjacent. So now I have to get the x solved for. And the problem, remember, is when the x is in the denominator, this makes that a little tricky. So the first thing I want to do is get the x out of the denominator by multiplying both sides of the equation by x. So this x in the numerator and this x in the denominator will cancel away. And now on the right side of the equation, all I have left is 8. On the right side, I have x times that tangent of 60. So I'm going to put the x in front like it's a coefficient. But I still don't have x by itself. Remember what operation this is between the x and the tangent of 60. It's multiplication. So to undo that, to get rid of the tangent of 60, I'm undoing multiplication, which means I'm going to use division. I'm going to divide by what I'm trying to get rid of, which is that tangent of 60. And to keep it balanced, I have to do the same thing to the other side as well. So I got rid of the tangent of 60, which allows me to get x by itself. So my x is equal to whatever 8 divided by the tangent of 60 is. So that's what I'm going to put in my calculator. Remember again, when you use trig, you always want to be in degree mode, but we already did that for number 1, and I haven't cleared out my calculator, so I'm still in degree mode. So I'm going to hit 8 divided by tangent. It brings up the parentheses for me to put my angle in there, which is 60. Since there's nothing after that, it doesn't really matter if you put that closing parentheses or not. We're rounding to the nearest tenth, which remember is 1 decimal place. There's a 6 in that place, and next door is not 5 or greater, so that means that 6 is going to stay a 6. So our angle is approximately 4.6. But since it's an angle, I'm sorry, that's not an angle, it's a side. Since it's a side, we don't put a degree symbol. That x is a side. So it's just 4.6. If it had given me units, like miles or inches or whatever, I'd have to remember to put that on there. But we're not given units, so it's just 4.6.